everyone, my name is Cass and I collect, and today I'm going to do a review of Cleo de Nile Couture. Here she is. The box looks really beautiful. I love the gold. I think the gold is actually my favorite on the Couture boxes. I think it looks really beautiful, especially in the lighting. Look at that shine. It took a while for her to arrive, but she's finally here and I'm really excited to do a review of her so I can obviously unbox her and display her with the rest of my Couture dolls. I'm also really excited to take pictures. I'm getting more into like taking professional pics. I have motivation for it, so stay tuned for that on my Instagram account. I personally think she's really beautiful. I also don't mind the smaller lips and smaller eyes. I think it's really beautiful and it gives more diversity to the Monster High brand instead of them all having big lips and big eyes. I can't wait to open her up, so let's get started. The box is a coffin shape and it is in a matte black color with gold metallic lining. It has all these little gray symbols that resemble Cleo, like a snake, a scarab, some jewelry, a diamond, and the same pattern continues on the back of the box. On the front of the box, you can see this fake leather square that has the Monster High logo in the same metallic gold color. It says Couture and it has more of Cleo's symbols on each corner. Now, let's open the box. Once you open the box, you can see Cleo being displayed with a plastic layer on top, and on the lid you can see a little pouch with her diary inside. I will be reading her full diary at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. Now, I would like to say that the first three Couture dolls, Draculaura, Frankie, and Claudine, had these plastic stickers on the sides of the box to make sure the box stayed closed. But Cleo does not have those, which I actually prefer because the stickers could potentially ruin the box. She also comes with a certificate. The certificate comes in a little plastic bag. It is a black matte card with gray writing on it. It has the Monster High logo on top and it says Couture Certificate of Authenticity. This certifies that your Monster High Couture Cleo de Nile doll materialized through the collaborative efforts of designers and artists at Mattel. And it has Rebecca Shipman's autograph. On the back it says Couture and the Monster High logo in yellow letters. And it says, "Oh my Ra, where have you been? I've been waiting centuries." Okay, maybe not centuries, but given my royal stature, I have been kept waiting for far longer than what is acceptable. I'm sure you're dying for a full recollection of what I've been wrapped up in. Father always says because we are of a royal birth, it is our duty to always look our absolute best. I'm totally fulfilling my royal duty with this drop-dead gorgeous glittery mummy fringed robe. My jogger set is fit for a queen with a golden mummy wrapped halter and matching high-waisted pants. With chic scarab shoes and accessories, this outfit is enough to make a monster unravel. Claudine Wolf certainly outdid herself designing this look. Don't you dare tell her I said that. Lest you've forgotten, Cleo de Nile waits for no one. So let's creep out again soon, shall we? And it says Cleo de Nile in yellow letters with a little diamond. Now let's take a look at Cleo in her box. The background of her box is this yellow gold color and you can see all the items she comes with, like her brush, her stand, her purse, and herself of course. Now let's take off her plastic seal. And this is what she looks like without the seal. Now let me fully unbox her so we can get into the details. So here's Cleo Couture out of the box. She comes with a gold metallic brush and a gold metallic base for her stand. The rest of her stand is clear and the part that goes around her waist is actually made of a different kind of plastic than the other three Couture dolls. The earlier Couture dolls had the same clear plastic, which is unfortunately very breakable. I already broke two of mine, so I'm really happy they changed this and made it a sturdier plastic. She also comes with a diary and a backpack. She seems to be having the exact same body as her original doll. The only difference I see is that Cleo Couture might have a little bit more of a warm toned skin tone. The tinsel in the hair is also quite different. Cleo Couture seems to have these separate parts in between, while Cleo Basics is just one streak of tinsel. Another thing I noticed is that Cleo Couture actually has the same lower arm as Cleo Basic. While the first three Couture dolls, Draculaura, Claudine, and Frankie Stein, had a Generation 2 lower arm. She has long black hair with her iconic golden tinsel in it, with bangs in the front. She comes with this metallic turquoise headband that has a dark blue diamond in the middle, and the sides are kind of like spider webs, and it has gold trimming on the top. She has an original new face, and the outer corners of her eyes are more pointed upwards, and her lips seem to be a little smaller, but that's mainly because of the makeup. She has thick brown eyebrows, turquoise blue eyeshadow on the top, and gold on the bottom, blue eyes, her diamond on her cheek. The middle part of her lips are this red brown color and the outside is this lighter brown gold color. And she has rooted eyelashes like all the Couture dolls. She comes with these turquoise spiderweb earrings with gold details on them, and on the top it has the same blue diamond that she has on her headband. She has this golden mummy wrap tube top with black lining and blue diamonds all over it. She comes with this nude, kind of see-through jacket with blue glitters all over it, and it has all these straps hanging from her sleeves, and they go all the way down to her ankles. She comes with this black choker with blue diamonds on it, and it has the same strings going down as her jacket. Her pants are the same color as her top, and on top there's this black ribbon, and on the bottom the same black ribbon with blue diamonds. And on the bottom of her pants she has 2 blue diamonds on the sides. She has a fake zipper on one side, and on the other side she comes with her iconic phone holder that wraps around her leg. Her phone is blue this time, but this is definitely a reference to Gen 1 Cleo. She also comes with a turquoise belt with golden details and this blue charm attached to it that has a pyramid, a snake, and a scarab attached to it. And on her left arm she is wearing this metallic gold bracelet. Her shoes are turquoise and wrapped around her feet. They both have a golden scarab on the front and some golden dots around it. And on the back of the shoes, you can see that the shoes are tied in the back with a little bow. She also comes with a golden backpack with a scarab on it, and it has wings on the side. The back has this golden glittery trimming, and you can actually open the backpack too. Now go grab some tea, because it's time to read her diary. The diary is a matte black color, and it has the Monster High logo in black letters with yellow lining. It says this diary belongs to Cleo de Nile. The punishment is quite severe for reading a royal diary without permission. And the back has nothing on it, and it says 2022 Mattel in the left corner. Once you open the diary, you can see Cleo's bio. It says, name Cleo de Nile, age 5,842, give or take a few years. Monster parent, the mummy, killer style. I'm a true Egyptian princess, complete with headdress, exotic jewelry, and oh yeah, the occasional stray bandage wrapping. Freaky flaw, the dark. Yes, I'm a monster who's afraid of the dark. Get over it. Pet. Hisset is my sweet Egyptian cobra. Her hiss is honestly so much worse than her, somewhat poisonous bite. Favorite activity. Ruling the halls of Monster High and being captain of the Fairleading squad. Biggest pet peeve, when someone refuses to obey me. Favorite school subject, geometry. Anything that involves triangles and pyramids is as easy as pie. Or would that be pie? Least favorite school subject, history. Been there, seen that, got autographs from all the major players. Favorite color, gold. Favorite food, grapes, especially when someone's feeding them to me. BFFs, Deuce Gorgon and Gulia Yelps. And her bio is the exact same as her Wave 1 bio. First month, 8th day. It feels like it's been ages since I wrote in my diary. Father is constantly reminding me to write down all my musings and activities for historical record. But do all my thoughts really need to be read by a bunch of monsters hundreds of years from now? Anyway, I woke up with a feeling of impending doom, and I immediately ran to the mirror. Yes, still stylish as ever. So it wasn't that. Suddenly, a voice rang from the hallway. Cleo! It is unbecoming of a royal to sleep so late. Think of the example you're setting. Oh my raw! My sister Nephra is home. Doom is no longer impending. It has arrived and it's wearing stilettos. First month, 10th day. Can someone remind Nephra she is no longer captain of the Fairleading squad anymore? All morning she kept dropping little tips and reminders about the duty and scared responsibility as fair captain. Father would have been horrified if I shoved my breakfast in Nephra's face, and I would be subject to the lecture about maintaining a certain decorum. Blah blah, and the expected behavior of a royal. So I just ignored her royal annoyance by going over notes for both my history exam and designs for new Fairleading uniforms. Before Nephra could prattle on, I quickly grabbed my things and scooted out the door when my boyfriend Deuce Gorgon was waiting to give me a ride to school. So glad Deuce's mom finally let him get his driver's license. Driving to school together has been absolutely awesome since it gives Deuce and I a chance to make a royal entrance every day. On the way to school, Deuce was going on about some gourmet screecher place he wanted to try out, but today I had one thing on my mind, and that was fear leading. Using a little geometry, I had planned an awesome pyramid I wanted the squad to perform at practice. I just knew it was going to be fantastic and show Nefra exactly who's in charge now that she's gone. But oh my raw, during practice Frankie lost a leg. Draculaura was going on about some type of bake sale and Claudine Wolf, had the audacity to not only interrupt me, but also suggest new uniforms before I could even share my ideas. As fair captain and a royal, I wasn't about to let Claudine disrespect or upstage me. So I quickly told the squad I was organizing a fashion show fundraiser to raise money for the uniforms. Problem solved, except now I have to actually find time to organize a fashion show. Sigh. First month, 11th day. After yesterday's disastrous fear leading practice and talking myself into planning a fashion show, I decided I needed some retail scarapy. Deuce was more than happy to stop his pickup basketball game with Claude to drive me to the mall and carry all my bags. Besides, I needed something new for our upcoming date night. While shopping at the mall, Deuce and I ran into Laguna Blue cruising the stores in her always alarming beach threats. I like Laguna. She's super nice and her surfing pics on that new Instagram app are pretty spectacular if you're into that kind of thing. The poor ghoul just will not let me put together a few looks for her. Father says that a good leader does not lead by force, so I suppose I shall let her come to me when she's ready. Laguna was once a fear leader, so I invited her to be part of the fashion show. I guess that is one way to coax her into a new look. Anyway, after visiting a few more boutiques, including a new one that has the most gorgeous clothes I've ever seen, I had Deuce take me home. Nefra raised an eyebrow as I walked through the door, and I simply replied, "Research for fear leading," and shrugged as I handed my bags to a servant. I cannot wait until Nefra finds some new place to haunt and just leaves me alone. First month, 14th day. Oh my bra, I don't even know where to begin. I had a date with Deuce to finally go to that screech up place he's been talking about. So I came home and took the next few hours to plan my outfit and what staircase I wanted to use to make an entrance once he arrived. As I was getting ready, Nefra entered my room without knocking, as the future queen is allowed to enter whatever room she pleases, including mine, and began going on about another fabulous party she had attended abroad. I have heard about every party Nefra's ever been to, and quite frankly, these parties all sound like they're full of the most pretentious monsters ever. I mean, honestly, who can stand to be around monsters that full of themselves? Anyway, as I was getting ready, Nefra spied my fear-leading notes, including my new uniform designs and the stuff for the fashion show. I tried to distract her, but it was too late. Are you seriously planning on these designs for the new fear-leading outfits and the fashion show to raise money? Doesn't that seem a little 2000 and late? As she placed the designs on my bed and walked out, Nefra casually tossed one more queenly remark over her shoulder. Another date with Deuce? Every good captain and proper royal should know when to set aside such minor distractions. Before I could even reply, Deuce was being announced at the door, and I had to hurry to finish getting ready and make him wait the requisite 5 minutes so I could make a proper entrance. Deuce was so excited about the screecher place, but I just couldn't focus. Nefra's words kept ringing in my ears. Maybe she was right. Maybe I was too distracted and I wasn't cut out to be fair captain. I mean, our pyramid was a disaster the other day, and my idea for the fashion show, was it not trendy enough? At dinner, my head was spinning as Deuce waved his hand in front of my face. Hey, Unearthed Cleo, you cool? How's your double Gulda Screecha? But I wasn't okay. On the drive home, I could barely say 2 words, but as soon as we arrived at my house and Deuce walked me to my door, I gathered all my royal training and faced him. Deuce, I think we should break up. The words just kind of hung there, and Deuce stared for a second. Deuce shook his head before replying, I don't understand where this is coming from. The Screecha plays wasn't that bad. I sit up straighter and repeated myself. As a royal, it is my duty to put my responsibilities first, and I can't have my squad falling apart from my distractions. So yes, we should break up. For once, I was glad I couldn't see behind Deuce's glasses as he mumbled some words about understanding before driving away. I quietly entered the house and hurried to my room before anyone, especially Nefra, could see me completely unravel. What have I done? First month, 15th day. I can't face anyone today. There's no way I could face school or fearleading practice after my breakup with Deuce. If I feel this bad, Deuce must be nursing a broken heart and turning everything to stone as we speak. What a mess. If you need me, I'll be in my sarcophagus with my nightlight and his set. Maybe I'll just stay there forever. It wasn't so bad the first time if you don't count the spending thousands of years in suffocating darkness. First month, 22nd day. If this were the old country, Claudine Wolf would be scrubbing the pyramids by hand for her insolence. Given everything going on, I was having an off day yesterday. Claudine saw that as our opportunity to steal the planning of the fashion show from right underneath me. Now it's called February Frights fashion show. You know what's frightening? That Wolf thinking she has a better fashion sense than me. To make matters worse, I had this dream that Deuce was every member of my fearleading squad and never was judging the team on routines we hadn't learned yet. I was yelling, but no one could hear my voice until finally I screamed. I asked for a scaricha with mozzarella, not gouda. I must have screamed in my sleep because Hesed looked quite annoyed before I headed down for breakfast. Father must have noticed my lack of sleep because he had one of the servants make a special tea before I headed off to school. But had I known that dream would be the best part of my day, I would have simply stayed home. For one, I forgot Deuce was no longer my ride to school, so I had to hurry since fashionably late meant detention at Monster High. Once I got to school, it felt like everyone was staring at me. I mean, they probably were. My outfit was fierce as always, but something felt different. Did they know about me and Deuce? Then during lunch, I spied Deuce hanging and laughing with the basketball buddies. Excuse me, shouldn't he be devastated after being dumped by someone of my royal stature? I was so angry at Deuce's cheery face. I almost knocked Claude Wolf over as I stormed to my locker. Claude and I dated briefly at one time and have maintained friendly relations, so I guess that's the past history. Plus my shock at Deuce's seemingly good mood that made me tell Claude about our breakup in the most unbecoming way. Claude's fur noticeably stood on end and he stammered a few words. Why are mansters always stammering? Before confessing he already knew. Deuce had told him a few days prior and Claude promised not to say anything to anyone. I asked Claude if he had been properly devastated after we broke up, and after more stammering he said yes, but it sounded like his tongue was covered in fur too. So I wonder why Deuce isn't just as upset as I am. First month, 26th day. I've been avoiding my girlfriends and my squad for days, and now everything is completely unraveling. Julia Yelps filled me in on the details after school. As a royal, it is my job to encourage scientific exploration that would lead to progress for the greater good. But Frankie has gotten herself so twisted in knots trying to invent a printer that prints clothes. I think we may have to cancel the fashion show and any shot at new uniforms. I was in such a furious mood by the time I joined Nefra and Father for dinner that not even my favorite meal of stuffed grape leaves could cheer me up. Father inquired as to why my mood was so somber, and Nefra took it upon herself to explain. Oh, Father, Cleo just needs to learn that uneasy lies the head that carries the lead pom-poms. A proper captain and second in line for the throne should not be distracted by frivolity but focused on the tasks ahead. That was it. I had enough of Nefra's haughty attitude. And maybe future queen shouldn't be so stuck on past glories and go find some other place to haunt. I yelled before Nefra could retort. Father's voice bellowed through the dining hall, startling the servants and stunning both of us into silence. He took both of our hands and looked us deeply before speaking. Nefra, he began, a true queen must know and respect when her reign is over, and a big sister must always be a friend, not a feed to her little sister. Nefra tucked her head in shame as Father turned to me. My Cleo, you are a natural leader, but a good leader must always trust herself and know when to extend that trust to those she leads. We receive a mini version of the lecture as we ate the rest of our dinner in gloomy silence. First month, 28th day. I was just in the middle of new uniform design when there was a small knock at my door and Nefra stuck her head inside. I was shocked because Nefra never knocks, and I forgot my place by rudely asking what she wanted. Nefra looked taken aback and I cleared my throat and there was a silence so awkward even my Hissette climbed back into her basket. As a queen, I believe apologies are in order, Nefra began, and before I could protest, she continued, and I believe I owe the first to you. I do apologize for not respecting your role as Fair Captain Cleo. I have to remember that even though you're my little sister and next in line for the throne, you are still your own person and you deserve respect and support to lead. I blinked several times because I was truly rendered speechless, but I accepted her apology and apologized for the cross words at dinner. For a second, I felt as though Nefra and I could truly be sisters and friends. But then she wrinkled her nose at my new shoes, and I was brought back to reality. Some things never change. Second month, second day. Where shall I even begin? The last few days have been truly exciting and surprising. I guess it all started with the last fair leading practice that didn't happen. I made it through school that day, but one side of Deuce walking to class with Rochelle Goyle, and it felt like my insides were being embalmed with hot spookachinos. I went home right after school to focus on how to save my squad. Whenever stuck her head in my door, without knocking, and announced that my friends were there. My squad was so worried about me they showed up with a scare package to cheer me up. Even Claudine managed to retract her claws for a second and tag along too. As they pressed me to tell them what was going on, I knew it was time to trust my squad with the news of my breakup with Deuce. As I told my friends, they gathered me in a hug and reminded me that a relationship doesn't define who I am. I had to tell Draculora that Claude has been keeping our secret. You'd think for 1600 years old, she would have learned to wait until one is done speaking before running out the door. Suddenly, Frankie was coming apart at the seams about the 3D printer, and I knew what I had to do. I snuck a glance at Nefra, who gave me a reassuring nod, and I took Frankie over to my private jewelry box and put a very special bracelet in her hand. Jayette, who was awesome at weaving and keeping us mummies looking fabulous, gave our family a beautiful bracelet full of special threads and looms that can weave anything together. I knew that this bracelet could save Frankie's machine and our fashion show. Father was right. I was a natural leader, and it was time to stop being so wrapped up in myself and lead my squad to victory. We did it! The fair leaders raised enough money for brand new uniforms. The February Frights fashion show was a complete success. I worked with Frankie and Claudine to get outfits designed for the show. With Claudine and I designing the outfits and Frankie using the printer to get the looks assembled, I must say, Claudine Wolf's design touches really brought these looks to life. Don't ever tell her I said that. But I felt like a real queen as I strut the runway in high-waisted jogger set paired with a glittery mummy fringe robe that Claudine finished with metallic spiderweb details. The school was all screams and howls for our looks. But the end of the show may be my favorite part. As I strut the runway, totally feeling great, but still a bit heartbroken, there was Deuce, smiling and cheering as I approached. And to my total shock, so was Nefra. I couldn't believe they both showed up. As I strut back the runway, I turned back to look at Deuce, and I swear he gave me a little wink. I think this is going to be a very interesting Scaremaster indeed. And at the end you can see Cleo de Nile and the school Monster High and her empty schedule. Thank you everyone for watching this video. I hope everyone liked it and I see you guys in my next video. Bye! Cleo, 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 Cleo.